Hi everyone, welcome. This is episode number 3 of Sipping Tea with Dom and Justine. I know. We just want to welcome you all, and today I am so excited. We have special guest. You might recognize her. She dazzled the silver screen as Lyra in The Golden Compass, and since then has played characters such as diverse as Frankie and Skins. You probably recognize her. You might not, but if you don't, it's the one and only Dakota Blue Richards. Hey, gorgeous. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. I have a few little questions that I'd love to ask you. And actually, I've known you for quite a while now. And there are obviously always been questions that I'd love to ask you. But I guess probably at the times that I've seen you, we're working. So maybe not the right time to ask you. But finally, I get to ask you them. So question number 1 I have is, have you ever had to do your makeup for the red carpet because there's been a situation where your makeup artist hasn't turned up on time, or maybe you've been in a rush thinking, oh my gosh, like I've got to go, time is not, on my side?
Well, funnily enough, I actually most of the time do my own makeup through choice, just because I love doing it. I find makeup really fun, but also really calming. I actually, when I can't sleep, I imagine putting on eyeliner and it sends me to sleep straight away. And so it's one of those things that I love having my makeup done by other people. And if I had to do something that I was worried I wouldn't be able to do, I would much rather have a professional do it. But, I always have a lot of fun doing my own makeup. So mostly for red carpet events, I do my own.
And when it comes to red carpets, do you kind of plan the makeup look that you're going to do? Or is it some, I don't know, do you sort of do research beforehand, or do you kind of just have this go-to look that you do all the time that you are comfortable wearing?
I have certain things that I'm, I guess, kind of better practiced at doing. I think I don't understand people who can do different types of skin. I do my skin the same way every time.
Me too.
And I mostly wear exactly the same lipstick every day.
Right.
But eyes is kind of where I try and have some fun. And I'd say usually I have a plan when I start, but it quite often doesn't look like how I planned it to look by the end, but that's okay.
Have you ever had a makeup look that you've done and you've seen it maybe in, I don't know, the magazines, and you kind of gone, oh my God, what the hell did I do that for? Or you've been packed somewhere, got highlight under your eyes, and you're thinking, oh.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. I love doing it. I'm not good at it, but I love doing it. So there have been definitely occasions where I've seen photos of myself and gone, "Ooh, okay, that was a mistake." I think my biggest thing, you can probably see it now, is I hate powder. I never use powder because it just feels so heavy on my face. And so basically every photo of me that has ever been taken, my face is so shiny you can see your reflection. Which is it's not a great look, but I've made my peace with it, and I think that's just who I am.
Yeah. So what kind of foundation do you use then? Obviously quite a mattifying foundation, or obviously a really glowing one?
I have two that I go back and forth between. One's more matte and one's a bit kind of dewier. And it really depends on what my skin is doing, because I've always really struggled with my skin. I get really bad hormonal breakouts. So if my skin is bad and I'm feeling self-conscious, then I'm just matte me up. I don't want anything to come through. But if I'm, if I've got the confidence, I feel like I'm looking okay, then I'll go a bit more sheer.
What foundation brands are those? What's your favorite foundation that you're using at the moment all the time?
Oh gosh, what is the one I'm using? I think it's a Dior one.
Okay.
That I have at the moment. I'm so bad.
Dior Air Flash. Have you ever used that one?
The what?
Dior Air Flash. It's the one in the little can and you spray on your face.
Oh no, but that sounds amazing.
Have you never used that one?
No, I've never even heard of it.
So it's called
me neither.
It's in a spray can, right? Dior Air Flash, and you can spray it on your face. It gives you this like literally airbrush look, and then you can buff your foundation, use a buffing foundation brush to really sort of work it into your skin, or you can spray it onto your makeup brush and then apply it. It's amazing.
I feel like my whole world has just changed.
Me too. I never knew about that. That sounds amazing.
See, this is why you need to be friends with a makeup artist.
Well, this is why we're friends, honey. Me, I'll always do your makeup. Whenever you need me, I'm there.
Amazing.
I need you.
Yeah, okay, I'll do both of you. We'll all work for each other then. So
yeah.
I have another question. So going back to, obviously, my little intro at the beginning, talking about Lyra in The Golden Compass. It sounds silly, but I watch bloopers all the time, right, when it comes to any sort of film. I think I've seen clips of you, you know, when you were doing maybe stunts and you're acting with, obviously, the amazing actors that you acted with. Is there any bloopers that we haven't actually seen that you can tell us that you guys were in fits of laughter?
Oh, gosh, I mean, it was so long ago, it's kind of hard to remember.
Yeah.
Almost certainly there were, because there's always bloopers. Everyone messes up all the time. Yeah. I feel like because there were so many incredible people on it, everyone was really on their best behavior. So compared to like Skins, where people were just screaming about all the time.
Were they?
Yeah, so like there's a whole lot of bloopers from Skins, some of which I hope never get out. But I think comparatively, Compass was like a much more kind of calm, focused working environment. So there's probably nothing like super hilarious. We did get into a lot of snowball fights because we had a lot of fake snow on set.
Oh wow.
So much to the distress of our art department, we did do that. It takes quite a lot. And I'm sure there are probably hundreds of takes that I totally messed up. But sorry, I feel like that was a really boring answer. I wish I had a funny story to tell you.
Yes, I'm sure we probably have seen the bloopers, and I'm sure there's others that we haven't seen. Another little question, and then I will hand it over to Justine. Is there anything from the Golden Compass that you've like taken? You know, like a lot of stars that you hear take something as memorabilia from set. Is there anything that you have still from any of the films? It doesn't necessarily have to be the Golden Compass that you've got.
You know what? I'm in my spare room, which is where I keep all this kind of stuff. Give me 1 second.
Is it the bear?
I wish it was the bear. Okay, I've just revealed that I'm only dressed from like.
We're all the same.
We're all the same.
This, I don't think I've ever shown this. Like,
really?
I don't even really show it to anybody, but.
You have it!
Oh, yeah. My God.
And it opens.
Oh, can you zap us to another time, please?
Where can
I will.
That's amazing.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. This is one of they had like 3 different ones on the set that we used, and each one had a slightly different function depending on what it needed to do for the scene.
Wow.
It's so beautiful. This one is this one's just like the pretty one that you hold but it doesn't move. And then they had ones like wires coming out the back that would control the hand so that you could actually you know, ask the questions and get an answer.
Wow.
There was one that didn't open, it was just closed, and that was for.
That's really interesting. Do you know who was in charge of designing that beautiful piece?
I actually don't know. I think I mean a lot of it came straight from the description from the book. So you know, there's quite a lot of artwork already even before we made the film.
Wow.
Kind of imagining it, but I mean, it's so beautiful.
It's
like,
gorgeous. I have to say, it's one of my all-time favorite films. I'll be watching it for Christmas again. Yeah.
It's a good Christmas film, actually.
Yeah, it's our go-to Christmas film. It's really funny because we were actually just talking about that film about a month ago. and you know, creeping into the Christmas period. But yeah, we really love it in my house. We watch it all the time, every year. Yeah.
Justine was talking about the Golden Compass, and I went, "You do know that I know Dakota?" And she was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I've worked with her, and you know, we've always kept in touch." And she went, "Oh my gosh!" She was like, "That's literally like my all-time Christmas favorite film."
Sorry, my lights have just had a technical issue. 1 second.
No worries. We know all about technical issues.
Well, hopefully we won't have any today.
There we go.
But I just, yeah, that movie has always really resonated with me. I just think that your interpretation of as Lyra was so badass, I have to say. Like this young, feisty, smart, you know, just come up with any kind of like invention to persevere. And yeah, I think it's like a really great all-around film. Plus it's just gorgeous, and like the jewelry elements, like, you know, the Golden Compass part of it and all the rest of it obviously speak loudly to me. So,
yeah, thank you. That's so lovely to hear.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. It was really nice to get to meet you on here today.
So you have more questions, don't you, Justine? You have some.
Yeah, I do actually. Just speaking of like playing different characters through your lifetime of being an actor, you've had some really great roles, obviously, as Lyra and as Frankie as well in Skins. I mean, so many different roles that you've portrayed. Have you ever felt that during those times when you've been sort of working, being those characters, does the style of the characters ever seep into your kind of like daily wardrobe along the way? Have you ever kind of taken on any sort of different, have you noticed that your wardrobe sort of changes when you're these different kinds of people?
Sometimes it really depends on the character. I think there's certain things, like I've done a few fantasy roles or a few kind of period drama roles. Those, obviously it's kind of difficult to take on those styles. I did go through quite a kind of 60s phase when I was doing Endeavour, which I believe the first season I was in was set in 1967. So I, with my hair and kind of a little bit with my clothing as well, I started to adopt some more 60s trends. And when I was playing Frankie, I did used to steal from the costume department quite often.
So good costuming going on there.
I love that.
Yeah, but not always necessarily from my character's wardrobe. There were a few pieces that were Frankie's that I took, but with permission, I say. I'm not.
Of course.
But
is that in your room as well that you're in? You've got like.
Come over and play dress up.
To be honest, most of it had to go because I can't fit into any of the clothes that I wore at 16 anymore. But yeah, I did kind of adopt some things. The main thing I think is that every hair and makeup artist I've had on jobs has taught me something, because like I said, I'm just like super enthusiastic about hair and makeup and all that kind of stuff, and I always try to learn something from every job that I'm on, which is why I then like to do my own makeup when I can, and so I can put those things into practice.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really fun. I like that. So are you this is going to lead into another question, but just in the middle of it, when it comes to jewelry, do you love jewelry? And if you do, are you an earring girl, necklace girl, bracelet, rings, or everything?
Yeah, I think people always say like, oh, you should have one, maybe two, and then that's enough. But no, I'm earrings, I'm necklace, I'm rings. I rarely wear bracelets because my hands are so small that they always slip off. The amount of bracelets that I've lost is ridiculous. But yeah, my rings are the thing, like these never come off. So
you're like me. These never come off either. They just stay on forever.
And like each one, I remember like where I bought each one, and they're all really kind of sentimental. And then I have a few kind of choice pieces that I will wear kind of day to day, but otherwise I think generally like jewelry for me is, if I'm putting jewelry on, it's because I feel like I'm getting dressed up, you know, it's an occasion. But that's mostly because, you know, I spend most of my time in lounge clothes, and I think I'd feel a bit ridiculous if I put something sparkly on with it.
Yeah, I don't know, it could be a new trend for 2020. Hey.
Yeah, you know? I'll start diamonds to the gym.
Why not? Yeah, exactly. I like that idea. Well, speaking of just sort of like red carpet, not that at the moment, you know, you're really out and about in that way, but previous adventures on the red carpet, have you got an all-time, I was looking through sort of lots of imagery of you on the internet and so many beautiful outfits. Have you got one that stands out that's like a favorite look, and, you know, did you create it or was it created for you?
Oh gosh, that's such a question. I have to say, like, I spend a lot of time cringing at photos of myself. I'm of the opinion that there has never been a nice photo taken of me, but
that shoot we did ages ago, you looked unreal. I know that was a, you know, you looked amazing. That was hardly touched up at all.
Well, that's good to hear.
Sorry, I think that was like a backhanded compliment. I'm sorry. No, you look stunning. I meant to say it was not touched up at all. I think it was just the background. You look stunning. I should shut up now.
No, I think professional photo shoots are, I tend to be pretty happy with those pictures, but like kind of candid pictures or pictures from events, I'm just like, what are you doing with your face?
They're difficult, aren't they? I mostly hate all the photos if I'm out somewhere as well, that I don't know, always caught mid-sentence.
Can I interject? You know, when you're on the red carpet, how do you, like, obviously you've got all these different photos of you. How do you literally, is there a certain way that you do it to try and look good in every single angle? Because trust me, if I was there, you'd have double chin, you know.
Well, I mean, there are all those photos too. Thankfully, I actually, you know, I think they get a hard time, but I think the guys that take those photos tend to be kind of decent people, and I think they probably don't print the photos that are really
nice.
The trick that I've learned, and I didn't know this for a while, but God, I wish somebody had told me, is do not start your photos smiling. Like, go in and do your photos with no smile, and then move into like a half smile, like and then you can go full smile at the end. If you go in first thing like, hi, I'm here, your mouth will start to quiver because you'll hold that smile for so long, and it's not a real smile, it's a fake smile. So by the end of your like photo run, your pictures will start to look like
crazy person. That's me.
Yeah, but it's actually like, it's a really, really good tip, is like just start not smiling and build up to it.
Well, I always call it the Victoria Beckham look, because Victoria just doesn't smile at all, does she? She just.
I know, but people always think it's because you're moody. It's like, no, it's actually really hard to hold a smile for that long. You don't realize how long you're standing there, and you can't kind of change your face halfway through too much, because somebody will take a picture of it, and then you'll have like a picture of you pulling a really awkward expression.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is difficult, all of these things. So I know, like, it seems silly that it should even be difficult, but I just get really nervous if there's a camera faced at me like that, and then it's a nervous smile, isn't it? I can never get rid of it. Yeah, and then all the pictures have to get burned.
I had a Christmas party a couple of years ago. Remember those?
Yeah, sort of. I sort of remember. Yeah.
And somebody brought a camera and was taking pictures, and I honestly don't remember a camera being at this party. I don't remember anybody taking photos at all.
Right.
But in every single photo from this party, everyone else is like chatting and having a good time and whatever, and I'm just straight down the lens every time, like,
I love it.
where does this come from? But I think it's because I'm so like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, if there's even a hint of a camera, I'm so like acutely aware of it, and I can't relax if there's camera around me.
Fair enough. I can appreciate that completely.
What was the question? Oh, my favorite look.
That's fine. I like all these introductions.
There was a white dress that I wore to the Royal Academy of Arts summer exhibition party maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It was a Roland Mouret dress, and I wore it. I had like really dark lipstick on, and I just loved it. Like, it was, I just felt so confident in a way that I rarely do.
Nice. That is a great feeling, actually.
Stands out. And those are the pictures I go to if I'm like, oh, I need a photo of me at an event. I might go to those ones.
Nice. Oh, nice. All right. I'm going to have a look for that one. I think I saw that yesterday on my little adventure through your carpet list. Yeah.
A new fan.
I am hugely. Do you have one that sticks out for the reason that you really weren't mega happy with that particular dress or something? Sorry, I probably shouldn't even point that question that way.
So many.
Is that one the worst one?
The worst one. Ooh. There's one that comes to mind, which I can't actually remember what the event was, but I was wearing like it was a dress that in normal light looked kind of pink, like a blush pink.
Right.
And under kind of the flash of the photographer lights, it looked kind of like pasty, like kind of not wholly dissimilar to my skin. And it was a dress that, like, when you put it on and you look at it, like, not even in the mirror, you just look down, I was like, yeah, this fits. And then I saw it and I was like, this does not fit. It's so short. It's like, it's too tight across it's just everything is awful.
Oh my god,
gosh.
I think I've seen that image.
Don't. Never Google it.
No, I'm not. I swear I have seen it. I'm not.
We're not.
Yeah.
We'll pretend like it didn't exist. I promise.
And there were a lot from when I was a kid as well, because God knows why, but people just let me choose what I wanted to wear. And I'm like, I mean, if you look at kids like, I guess like Millie Bobby Brown or whatever, who has been like styled to within an inch of her life from the moment she appeared on screen.
She has.
She just, I mean, she always looks stunning.
She's gorgeous.
And I think that's like maybe a thing that happens a bit more now.
So do I.
Whereas like when I first started, like, they didn't really get stylists for kids because they were like, well, you're a kid, it doesn't really, you know, it doesn't matter what you wear.
I actually understand that, you know, and because one thing that I'm not saying it's a bad thing is you look at these 13-year-olds, they look like they're like late 20s, you know, they look beyond their age. And don't get me wrong, you know, that's how they like to dress, and that's the way that they're styling them because they want them to be on trend. But I kind of feel like they are 13, you know?
Yeah, I mean, to use Millie Bobby Brown as an example, I mean, she's beautiful, and, you know, obviously she's so young. I'm not saying she looks old, but I mean, she looks more mature, I think, more sophisticated than I do now at 26. Because
and me.
She's just so perfect. You know, if you look, like, any kind of childhood pictures, like right up until now, really, it's still going on, but like, I just looked ridiculous in every photo taken of me as a child. And it's the same for like the Harry Potter kids or whatever. Like somebody clearly stepped in at some point with them and were like, no, we're not letting this happen anymore. But the stuff they let us walk around in, somebody should have intervened. They should have said we're going to be around forever, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's the pictures are never going to go away. I mean, we've really, obviously, like, given this year, especially with all the changes that have happened, we do really live online, don't we? And I think it's such a media-driven world, and for the young actors in, you know, or the young people, the young talent, it's difficult. I think each year brings more challenges in that way. It's a hard place to exist. There's a lot of pressure as well. Like Dom, you were just saying, like you're both saying, you know, that pressure to look a bit older and so put together. And, you know, you are just a kid really, and you're not really born knowing that at all at that age, are you? It's just what it is. But all the sort of management around everything now is, it's a lot.
Yeah, I think in a way I'm kind of glad that that there wasn't that much pressure on me as a child. I'm glad that I feel like I was a bit older when I became aware of how I looked and how I was perceived and how those things would affect my experience in this industry. I think I was probably still too young to be feeling that way when I did, but you know, thank God it was 15, 16 and not 12.
12, right, exactly. I think it's a hard place to come out of and be a balanced person as a grown-up when you've been involved, you know, so young, but clearly you are, and it's really so fun to get to speak to you in a nice way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So
should we get on to the other little bit? We have
I think we should get on to some Christmassy bits.
Stuff. Yeah, so obviously Christmas is literally around the corner.
No.
I know. You excited for it?
Yeah.
In my head, I'm still in like March, April. I don't know how we got to December already.
It's mad. This year has just flown by so quickly all of a sudden. What's a typical Christmas day in the Blue Richards household? What do you guys get up to?
Well, my Christmases tend to be pretty quiet because I usually spend Christmas just with my mum. Yeah, sometimes my grandma will come. Sometimes my significant other will be there. But I'm German, so we celebrate Christmas in the evening on the 24th, which is kind of unusual. But it actually works out really well because it means that if I'm in a relationship, I can do Christmas at my house with them on the 24th and then Christmas at their house with them on the 25th. So I've never had to do that, like, where are we going to be for Christmas? Kind of awkward conversation. But yeah, it's a pretty quiet affair. Lots of presents. My mum set a standard for just going overboard with presents, and now we're all just to keep up every year. And we decorate the tree. That's another kind of German thing, is you don't put your tree up until Christmas Eve, and then you decorate it, and then you have dinner, and then you open presents.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I love that.
It's a cool way of kind of Christmassy, like cutesy stuff. It's nice.
Oh, I love
Do you have any favorite kind of like foods for the festive season? I know that you're vegan. Do you like to cook, or do you like sweets or savory things?
Well, I do love to cook generally, but we very rarely cook on Christmas. We usually order in, which some people think is really weird. But
that's nice, actually.
Well, yeah, I think so, because when there's only two of you there, you don't want to cook like a whole roast. And
not really.
you know, like, what are you gonna do? Have either like no sides with your roast, or cook all the sides but just for 2 people? The whole thing is kind of silly. So what we usually do is just order like an obscene amount of food.
Where
and we don't have a specific place that we always go to. We quite often get Indian.
Oh, so it changes.
Like a weird Christmas tradition is to have an Indian.
I love that. That's different. It sounds very fun though.
Also, you being vegan as well, I guess there's more sort of options, you know what I mean? Like flavoursome foods with Indian food.
Yeah, and living in Brighton as well, like there's so many options for vegan.
Nice.
Yeah, I've only been vegan for a couple of years, so it wasn't like my mum was having to work that out when I was a kid, but recently, yeah, it's so easy. So much easier, I think, than in, you know, other places, even in the UK.
Do you miss meat and fish?
No, really, like, not at all. I never really liked fish anyway. I think fish is disgusting, so gross. But yeah, and I never really ate red meat. So the only meat that I really had to cut out of my diet was chicken and bacon, which both of them went pretty easy. Cheese was so much harder than meat.
Yeah, that is difficult, actually. I can appreciate that.
Actually, the thing that I've missed more than anything is like cream puddings, and
I like cream too.
And like that.
I am starving now.
I did learn a really nice vegan recipe that kind of took care of that, like, craving for the cream element, because I like cream as well. I will text it to you, I promise. But it's got, like, you have to do it. You need to prep it. It takes a while, but it kind of uses cashews to make the cream. So you kind of make the cream using cashews and coconut milk. And then you kind of freeze it, and it's got berries in it. It's really nice. I made it for my stepfather when he was here one Christmas, because he has a sugar issue, and I try to leave sugar out as well. So it's kind of like an all around. It's vegan. You don't have to put sugar in it. I send it to you both. I think I rate it, and it's easy, and you can enjoy that with your mom.
You both are putting me to shame. You're like, we're cutting this out. We don't need this. It's me going, I just eat everything.
I'm not always an angel, by the way. Like, I'm far from perfect. I'm just gonna, like, put that disclaimer up, because if people are watching that know me, they'll be like, she is devil, she's not perfect. So
yeah, and I use my veganism as an excuse to eat absolute junk food. Like, there's so many options for vegan burgers and like dirty fries kind of places, especially. And I'm like, yeah, but it's healthy because it's vegan.
No, I do that too, actually. I do that quite. And like, it'll be fine. It's vegan. Like, it's perfect. And there's no sugar. And, you know, all that. And it just makes me eat more of it.
Oh, I love it.
Our last and final little question to you is, obviously this year has been changing everything for everybody, and we're very aware of that. And that's a whole nother big topic. I'm not looking to get all the way into there. But what we did want to know is 2021 approaching so quickly. What have you got planned? Have you got any plans that you're allowed to share with us that are coming up, or any new things that you've sort of gotten into because we've been locked down for a year, new skill sets or anything like that?
I have a couple new skill sets. I don't think they're especially exciting. I started knitting a jumper, and I can make bread now. But
Brilliant.
Well done.
Thank you. I mean, it's wait until you see the jumper before you say that. But
that's already.
My plans for 2021. If this year has taught me anything, it's that planning doesn't really mean anything. I think my hope for the next year is that, I mean, I'd like to regain a bit more of like normality. That would be nice start. But I think really 2020 has just taught me to be to really see and be grateful for the things that I have, and also that there's no time like the present to make difficult decisions. I have no idea where I will be this time next year, but I think I'm really happy with the place I'm in now, and I would just like that to continue. In terms of the work that I'm doing, I mean, who knows what's going on with this industry? I certainly don't. But I'm very, very glad that I write, because that is something that I can do from home and not have to leave the house, not have to speak to anybody. So I wrote, like, I started writing a project this year, and I wrote the first episode, and I'm halfway through the second episode, and I'm actually really proud of it, and I don't often feel that way about my work. So I'm gonna keep working on that and see kind of what inspiration takes me, and hopefully have some cool things to share with people next year. That's a very vague answer, isn't it?
I really love that. That's amazing. And
but I think vague is about as good as we can do at the moment.
Yeah, agreed. That's really interesting. Well, we look forward to reading your new material when it's finished and everything.
Thank you for being a part of today. It's been amazing having a little chat with you and actually getting to know more about you. I mean, I didn't know that you were German, and
I didn't just a little bit, but yeah,
just a little, yeah. But it's lovely to have a little catch up, and thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been really fun.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dakota. Have a happy festive season and enjoy it.
Thank you.
And enjoy your Indian.
Oh, I will. Believe me.
I wanted to snap of it because I love Indian food so much.
I will send you. Yeah, I'll send you some pictures.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Yes, please do that.
Maybe one day you can join us. Maybe in the new year. You know, if you've got any exciting projects or anything, more than happy. We would love to have you back.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you want to see any more videos from us, as we have some very exciting projects and clips dropping in the coming weeks. So have a very lovely Christmas and a happy new year from us all. Bye guys.
Cheers everybody.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Cheers.